In Depth with the developers of MailMaven and Joe Kissell, Part 3. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by our Patreon subscribers. Get access to the MacVoices Slack, the MacVoices Discord, MacVoices After Dark, and have your name listed at the end of each episode of MacVoices. Sign up at patreon.com/MacVoices.
Going back to your question, Chuck, the four of us had a lot of conversations about, well, now that we've decided that there's going to be the documentation, and there's going to also be the book, what is that separation? And you're also correct that there is some inevitable overlap. Like, there are things that are basic that I can't really not mention in the book. I can't really avoid mentioning that it's possible to send a message. I don't belabor that fact, but yes, I do have to mention, yes, there's a button you can click called send. But so there is a certain amount, like, I didn't literally copy any text between the two, but there is certainly a lot of content that in essence overlaps. When I started doing it, so the documentation, the built-in, the included documentation for MailMaven is, in fact, it's on the web. So it's HTML, and you can browse through the different headings and so forth, and click the internal links to go to whichever topic you want. Although it's in HTML now, it started out in a word processing document, and I had a target. Like, I think it's going to take me maybe 40, 50 pages to cover just the get to know MailMaven stuff, like just the basics, not any detail, just like, here's how you do the basic things, 40 or 50 pages, and then we'll have the book. So then after 96 pages, I'm like, you know what, I better just stop, because holy crap. And so I stopped at 96, and then I realized, oh, whoops. Like as I was reading the book afterwards, I'm like, oh, phooey, I forgot to mention this in the online. So I have a whole list, and Beth, it's the updates are coming. But I'm like, I had to realize that I left out stuff, or either I had left out stuff or made a little mistake, or MailMaven had added some features since the beta.
Never do that.
That would never happen.
They kind of do a lot.
Yeah.
So revisions to the online help are coming too. But when I started working on the book, I was like, holy cow, there is so much more to say, because, as Beth said, I wanted the book to be more take control-y. I wanted it to be more verb-oriented, more task-oriented, as opposed to just like, this is what this button does. Well, yes, that's what that button does, but why would you click that button? What would you do with that? And again, as I was rating it, I was like, all right, I'm up to 162 pages, and I'm feeling a little bit sheepish that I didn't cover some things in as much detail as I would have liked, but at a certain point, like, well, the app's going to ship and I better just stop now. So like, it's a take control book, so there'll be updates, and come back to us in a year, it'll be over 200 pages probably. It'll keep growing.
Easily.
And we may decide to like swap stuff between the online help and the book or whatever, I don't know. But going back to the question you asked about, like, could an ordinary non-power user just pick up the app and start using it? Yes. In fact, I have a little section at the beginning of the book that's like, okay, let's just say, you're coming from mail, you just want, a quick on-ramp. Okay, sure. But because it is designed for power users, and because there is so much more stuff in there, there is really no limit to how much I could say. And there are places where in the book, I just kind of say, you know what, this thing, I documented it adequately in the online help, so just go read that instead. Mm-hmm. There are a couple places where that sort of thing happens, but it's just, it's one of those apps like Nicest Writer, like DevonThink, where there is, you can keep going on and on and on. And I worried a little bit that somebody would say, oh my God, here is a 500-page book. I have to read this 500-page book in its entirety to be able to use this, and that's going to scare people off. Well, no, 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 no. It's not like that. You can just open it up and use it. It'll be fine. But there is all this additional stuff if you want it, or maybe you're a little bit confused about how something works just by looking at the user interface. Well, the book is going to explain that in more detail. So, at the moment, it's 162 pages, but, stay tuned because I know what features are going to be added in the next few months, and it's going to be so much work. It's like, it's like with Apple, right? So every time we say, okay, here's an updated book on whatever the thing is, and we publish that book, and the very next day or the next week, Apple says, no, 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 no. Here's a new version with 10 new features. You're going to have to retake all your screenshots and re-explain all these things. Well, it's kind of like that with Maven too, because it's at version 1.0 and it's growing, and there is so much cool stuff that will be in version 1.1, 1.2, and 2.0 and on into the future. And oh boy, it's exciting. I can't wait. What we have now is totally fine. It's my main email app that I use on all my Macs every day. But there's a lot of cool stuff on the list.
Yeah. Joe, when you were describing how many pages are coming, I could kind of see Beth going like this. Like she can't wait to just inflict this punishment on you.
Oh, it's not punishment on Joe. It's opening a vista for our users. It's just giving them a window into what they can do, because it's not obvious all the time.
No. And there are certain things that by necessity we had to say, look, we're not implementing this. And yet it is we got to get to the version 1 release. We got to get it into the hands of people. But we have potential. And this is one of the things about being a small software company, is that we feel that we are very responsive to users. And in fact, we've had many users say, I can't believe you answered my email, or oh, I can't believe that you listen to what I said about this and are actually taking into consideration, have adjusted things or implemented the feature. And I know that with a lot of companies, and I know with Apple Mail, is it could say, please, Apple, do this. And all you hear is crickets. You don't hear anything.
Or please, Apple, just fix this.
Just fix this. Please, just fix this. Crickets. Nothing.
Yeah.
And
so Scott, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Apple's a big company, and they have many agendas and needs, and they answer to their own needs. We are a small company, and we feel that we are very responsive. We might not be able to implement everything, or we might not think it's always what is necessary now, or whatever. But is that we know that with MailMaven is that every month there is going to probably be something new, improvements, new features coming out. In the when a person purchases a maintenance plan, and we will talk about this very shortly, I'm sure, is that there's an expectation in that maintenance plan is that there will be updates, and those updates will have improvements and features, and not just bug fixes, but improvements and features. So that it's an ongoing process. Why we like to have that relationship with our customers, and that's part of who we are as a company, and not of just a big monolithic scream at the building, and maybe the building will hear you, and maybe they will hear you, and 12 months later you will see something that isn't quite what you wanted.
So just the other day, a customer wrote to me. This is someone who has my Apple Mail book. And he said, well, Joe, I've looked all through your book and I cannot find the solution to this problem that I've been having with Apple Mail. And it had to do with Apple Mail talking to a Gmail account. And he described the problem in great detail and sent me screenshots and things. And he was like, but maybe I missed it. Where in your book do I find the solution to this problem? And I said, well, yeah, the solution isn't in there because I have no idea what the solution is. I haven't heard of this specific problem before, but even if I had, it wouldn't matter because I don't have any inside connections at Apple. I don't know what their code is doing. That's, all I can recommend to you is that you report this bug to Apple. And when you do that, you should be aware that nothing will happen. You will not get a response back from Apple. The odds that they will literally ever fix it or even reply to it all are practically zero. Whereas if you had had this exact problem that you're describing in MailMaven, what you would do is you would report this to SmallCubed and you would get an email back from a human being and they would say, well, do this, try, check these logs, send us this information. And they would go back and forth with you until the problem was fixed. And if they didn't, then you would write back to me and I would pester them because I have been through this process like, I don't know what, hundreds of times over the period that I've been working with you guys. I'll say, well, here's a bug. And I'll be like, okay, we'll do this. Send me this log, try this thing, go into terminal, type this, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll go, okay, yes, I see what's happening now. Try this new build, see if that works. And it either doesn't or doesn't. We go through this process literally, and eventually the problem is fixed. So I have been through this countless times. And it's not like, yes, I do, like, I know these guys personally, and we've had this working relationship for a long time, but they would literally do that with anybody. Like they care about their customers. And maybe, a random person they never heard of before wouldn't get such rapid, like they wouldn't necessarily turn around new build in a few hours, but like they do really care, and they will talk to you and they will work on figuring out what the problem is and how to solve it. And that is just something that cannot possibly ever happen with Apple Mail or with, Microsoft or, Google or whatever. It's just not possible. And it's possible with a small company. And I have had so many of my own bugs fixed that way, and interface tweaks and features added. I'm a little embarrassed, but I want for viewers, listeners, customers of either or both of our companies to know that if you decide to get on the MailMaven path, this is what you're getting yourself into. You are getting into an app made by and for human beings who love email. We want this to work for you. We really do. So we will do what we collectively can to make that happen.
So let's talk about the logistics of getting MailMaven. And Scott, you had brought up the support. How can I try it? Can I try it for free? Do I need to purchase it? And what kind of support scratch that, support options, slip of the tongue, which was because I was thinking about another mail program that has issues. Where do we go with this?
Well, Beth,
you can download MailMaven from MailMaven.app. You can try it for 15 days for free. If that's not enough, send us an email. We can extend that for you. Then it is on a maintenance plan basis. It is when you buy the app, you buy complete support, syncing, and tag syncing and updates for 12 months. My words are going, sorry, for 12 months. And then after that, you can continue to use the app. You won't get any more updates, but it will not stop working. You can use it indefinitely. And if you renew your maintenance plan, you will get the next batch of updates and continued for 12 months with support and tag syncing.
Beth, is the 15-day download feature limited in any fashion, or am I getting the full? I get the full MailMaven experience.
Full version, the full deal.
Got it.
You can install as many accounts as you like. You download as many messages as you like. You can tag messages. If it sets up a temporary profile, so even that tags will sync between computers, so you can experience the full thing. And that if you don't like it, that's fine. It might not be for everyone, but if you do like it, and hopefully you do that purchase and get the 12-month maintenance plan, is like everything will just keep on working. The only time that Maven will disable is that if you use a trial plan and you do not purchase MailMaven, then MailMaven will stop working. If you have purchased MailMaven and your maintenance plans ends after 12 months, you can keep using it. It will not disable. The software will still fetch emails. You can still send emails with MailMaven. You can still use all the features with the exception of synchronizing the tag data between computers. And that's mostly because that is that's a cost outlay for SmallCubed to keep that maintenance up on an ongoing basis. And you don't get the updates. I mean, what you do is you on major updates, you'll get a notice that there's a major update, and if you had the maintenance plan, you would know what this update would be. But that's occasional, and as soon as you sign up for a new maintenance plan, it continues on as normal. The other thing to note is because we got people say, "Oh, it's a software subscription." I hate software subscription. It's not a software subscription. There is no point where Maven will be disabled. Their software does not get removed in functionality from your computer after the 12 months. We do not keep your credit card on file. It will not automatically renew. Is that you have to make a deliberate, once a year commitment to MailMaven. And that's great. Is that we feel that is reasonable for people to make once a year. It's like, yes, I'm continuing to use the software. That's fabulous. It is a recurring revenue model, but that's the thing is software costs money to maintain.
Yeah.
And it costs money to build, and we have lots of plans for this. And as we want to be, in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time, is like, wow, this feature, more features, more, interconnection, so that it becomes your hub for all your email and everything that you do through the email. Is that we have lots of places we can go with it, and so we hope that people will join us for the ride.
I don't mind paying, and I too will get emails on this. I don't mind the subscription models when I'm getting something for them, and and that includes regular maintenance, regular updates, support. And especially with an email program, it's one of those things that I use every single day, multiple times a day. And multiple times a day, because it's the way we communicate with the outside world. So I like the model. I like the way you approach it. I love the fact that it's been just roundly communicated here that we answer emails, we answer support. We want to hear from you. So thank you. Yeah. Joe, I want to also give you a chance to talk about the Take Control book, of course.
Yeah. Well, it has a purple cover. Which
I'm surprised you're not wearing purple. I thought of you today.
As I was putting on my brown shirt this morning, I think, but I didn't have the time or the presence of mind to dig out a purple shirt. I have a purple pen. I always have a purple pen clipped to my collar. But originally, what we thought was going to happen was that we were going to sell this book for $15, like most of our Take Control books. And as we discussed this, we figured out that we really want every MailMaven customer to be able to read this book and not to feel like, well, I spent the money on the app, now I have to spend more money on the book. So we came to a revised sponsorship arrangement, which means the book is free. So if if you are trying out that 15-day free trial, or you haven't even downloaded it yet, and you're like, do I even want to try it out? Yeah, the book is free. Yeah, you order it from us for $0. You can read it at your leisure, look at all the features, look at my descriptions of how things work, and you can either decide like, no way, man, which is fine, or you can be, Glenn Fleischman edited this book, and as we were going back and forth in the editing process, he'd leave me all these notes in the margin, like I don't want to use excessively salty language, but let's just say he was really geeking out about, he's like, no way it can do that too. And oh, my mind is just blown. I can't wait to use this. And immediately he's like, okay, Joe, you ought to probably include another page in this book that gives this long example of this rule that I created that does this cool thing. I'm like, version 1.1. But Glenn is also a power user, and as I was describing things, he immediately got it, and he was like, "Oh, this is so cool, and I can't wait to try this out." And also he kept leaving me these comments like, this feature sort of smells a lot like Joe. Like I have a feeling that this feature might have been, one that you had your hands in a little bit. I'm like, I might have had my hands in a few things. But yeah, so anyway, all that to say, like, the book is free, and if you're using MailMaven, then of course you want the book. But even if you haven't, if you're trying to decide whether to be interested in it or whether to give it a shot, the book can really help you help expose all those things to you that may not be obvious if you just sit down and look at the app. I mean, there are even things like, Scott and Beth and Scott were reviewing a preliminary draft of the book, and they're like, but Joe, you didn't mention that if you go to this thing and you right click on this and do this thing, it can do that. I'm like, yeah, well, honestly, I never noticed that because that it's a thing that I never wondered about. Oops, let's add a thing about that. So like it just there's so much in it. So get the book for free. It's purple. Oh, and I should say, like, okay, there is, let's like to put all of our colorful cards on the table. Beth is wearing purple. I weirdly am not. I have a well-known, fondness for the color purple. And when you install the MailMaven app, it's also going to be purple. And I've heard from a couple of people who, like, there might be, I don't know, there could be some mental illness involved or something. They seem not to like the color purple. I don't want to judge, right? Okay, some people are just weird that way. But like, if you're opening the app and you're like, oh, purple, really? It's fine. You can change that. There's a setting. Make it green if you want. Make it like whatever. You can choose the color that works best for you. And I will judge you, but I won't tell you that I'm judging you. So,
I wanted to say one thing about the book.
Yeah.
Please, Scott.
Yeah.
So, I as one of the developers of this app, and a long time participant in SmallCubed, I learned things about MailMaven from Joe's book, because there are certain features I don't work on very much at all, and I don't particularly use very much. And I was like, wow, that's a really cool feature. I never knew that it did it this way. I knew that it was there, but I didn't know how it worked exactly because I had never actually worked on it. So
there's
that happens to me on a semi-daily basis. Oh, I was fixing something and I just added blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, you really have to look through those release notes to see what's changed.
I'm as a developer, I'm an itch scratcher. And so when
that sounds gross.
I'm itchy, I scratch it. And so a lot of features are like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if this? And a lot of time Beth has to say, no, you're not working on that feature because you have these things to work on. It's like, yes, I know. I'm sorry, but things like, wouldn't it be great if in your mailbox list, and you have your list of mailboxes, and you have your badge on this mailbox, and you got 5 unread, and you know that you have 5,386 messages in that mailbox, but 5 are unread. Wouldn't it be great just to click on the badge and open the mailbox with it filtered just on the unread? And it's like, oh yes, I will add this feature, and and so there's a lot of little things in there that just make, I think, remember back in the day when there was a certain amount of using software from certain unknown fruit companies would be it gave people a sense of delight.
Yeah.
And you realize that they did something and it's like, oh, that's neat. Oh, wow. And I like that kind of notion of, oh, here is a little tip, little feature is that, yeah, it might have to be a little bit discoverable because we're not going to put tooltips on everything, Zorjo, but it it will be, oh, there's a delightful little feature. And
right click on anything and just see what happens.
Yes.
Yep.
And just there's lots there. And because I like to scratch itches, and so when I scratch itches, I add features. And so yeah. It's
okay.
And look, if you really look hard, go through all the different windows and settings and things, you can treat it like a treasure hunt. There are lots of treasures in there. One lucky person will find the magic hidden button that if you click it, deletes all your email accounts. So, but you gotta look everywhere. You gotta click everything.
I didn't.
Sorry, Joel. Is that a bug report?
It's a feature request.
Joe, I thought I hid that button really well. I didn't think you would find it.
It's not a bug, it's a feature. Yes, I like it.
Well, during the development, I know we're all rambling, but we're just like, look at us. We love this. We're having so much fun. During development, there used to be an additional settings pane.
Oh yes.
An advanced settings pane that it's kind of like if you know BB Edit, BB Edit has one of these things where it's like, if you are especially geeky and you want to tweak every last thing, okay, here's how you do that. So there is this advanced pane that just every possible setting, and you can just like tweak any little thing. I have to admit, I was a little bit sad when that went away, even though that's something that ordinary people really, really shouldn't touch or even see. But as being the tinkerer that I am, I was a little bit sad when that went away. But all those capabilities are still in there someplace.
Yeah.
Beth, next time, I think it just needs to be a one-on-one with you and me, so you can tell me all the stories about these three.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting the sense that there are a lot of them. So to wrap this up, you want to go to MailMaven.app to download MailMaven, get a 15-day free trial. I also wanted to mention to something that Beth said earlier. All the documentation is online. So you can look at all that. You can then go to Take Control Books and grab Joe's book, and you will have everything you need to know about MailMaven, at least until the next update, because it sounds like that is a regular thing. And then sign up for MailMaven. I love this. This clearly is not just a project, it's a passion project for these folks. And I congratulate you.
If you do it now, before the end of the month, it's on special. There's a 40% introductory discount. So take advantage of that and get MailMaven for $45 for 12
US
months.
dollars.
US dollars.
US
yes.
dollars. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the maintenance plan renewal is when your 12 months is up, it's $75 for another 12 months. But that, like I said, it does not auto renew. It does. You don't get my credit card got charged, because we don't keep your credit card information. Part of that privacy stuff. We don't want it. And at the end of 12 months of using it, hopefully that people are more than happy to say, yes, here's another $75. I will keep using this. We've even had people have contacted us. Is like,
not charging enough.
Is that all? I mean, but it's
Yeah.
it's that balancing point. Pricing is a tricky balance between lots of different factors. So
Yeah.
we think that $75 for a year of maintenance on our product is an outstanding value, and we hope that people agree.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. Joe, you made it back.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm everything's going fine. All of a sudden, the entire Zoom window just disappeared. I'm like, what? The app didn't quit, but the connection, without any warning, just went away. So sorry, it took me a minute to connect.
Those
Okay.
things happen.
Anything else?
No, just for me to say, Beth, Scott, and Joe, thank you so much for all the time. This has been an extra long interview, but I really feel like we needed to go in depth to MailMaven to explain as much as we could the feature set and why people really need to look at this. Whether you're a little frustrated or a lot frustrated with your email client, you really should go and check out MailMaven. We will do this again once an update or two is out, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more to talk about. Thanks, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
very
Thank
much
you
for
very
having
much.
us. Yeah.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. We'll be back with more soon. Meanwhile, check out MailMaven and check out Take Control of MailMaven. Until the next time, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.